I was really hoping you meant he's going to bring the action, because clearly...
No, I guess the action began with you. When we went outside, I met her, and then, they said, let's take a picture since the both of you are outside. And I said, sure. And I went and stood, gentleman-like, hands behind, and waiting for the picture. And she said, how would people know you love me if you don't do that? So,
Sir, there was
so she got me nervous, in the first meet. And after that, I've been wondering, what the hell is she going to ask me? Anyways, waiting.
And you would have known if you let me prep you, but he said, I don't want to be prepped, because indirectly he was saying, I don't want to have a pre-conversation before I have an actual conversation with you, which is fine, sir. Having said that, the people wanted to ask me, the people of Moneycontrol wanted to ask me who your favorite cricketer is, but I made sure that they know this is a very serious panel, and we're having really... Wow, sorry, I'm clearly not used to using a mic. Yeah, and I said, that's not nice, like it's Suneil Shetty, sir, and the first question we have to ask him is, when the hell is Hera Fairy 3 coming?
So what do you want to ask me now? Do you want me to tell you about my favorite cricketer, or the Hera Fairy question that...
Clearly the question that I care more about, not Moneycontrol. Now that I'm sitting here, they can't stop me.
That's the Hera Fairy that you're trying to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite cricketer, today's time, definitely Virat Kohli.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, KL, better luck next time.
KL is my son.
Nice save,
so
sir.
When it's family, you don't talk about family.
Wow, what is Ahan then?
Family.
No.
But he's not a cricketer. He's an actor.
You
so
were...
My favorite cricketer is Virat Kohli, because he's a master of chasing.
Really.
That's the first time that you feel when you're at home and dhag isn't happening. When Virat is, even though we are chasing and Virat is batting, that's not happening. So it's Virat for sure.
Good answer, I guess. I don't know if it's the right one. But, so sir, tell me, from a personal point of view, I really want to know. You've been an actor, you are an actor, you have businesses, you're an entrepreneur. I know the businesses part of it probably comes with you having Shetty as a part of your name. Let's not get into that. But why are you coming for my job now? You're at a creator summit, where a creator is asking you how to create. Like, how is this? What is happening?
No, I think I'm not a creator. You are the creator. And, I think it's more about my journey, failure, because I always talk about that. I believed I was an actor, and then because of that, everything would work. But that's not the way it worked. I don't have, even though I come from a F&B background, I don't have any restaurants of my own anymore. They're all shut shop because I couldn't focus on that business. And, it's very dependent on the chef or the masters who are running it on a day-to-day basis. I get the opportunity. I'm called an entrepreneur because of the world today, because of young creators like you, young startups like you, who are looking for mentorship, who are looking for funding, and you get an opportunity to look in and back those kids. And when you know that somebody is damn good at what they're doing, for a fact that you're going to enjoy that ride too with them. So I think it's the opportunities that are there far more. Earlier as actors, if the only thing that an actor invested was in probably real estate, because you could let it be. You could either rent out a place, or if it was land, you let it grow. Because no other business really worked. But today, times have changed, and we've got a lot of opportunities, and that's why you see, sportsmen, actors invest in startup and see success.
I love how you've been able to adapt, actually, because I feel like a lot of actors from your era, like they try to adapt, but somewhere they can't connect with a younger audience or people way younger than them. But I think you have that cracked. What do you think what do you think you do differently that they don't really have a handle on?
I don't believe I'm special and that I have that tact. I've graduated very and moved on very smoothly. I'd say because I accepted failure. When my films didn't work, I stood there and said that my films didn't work. I had an audience, I made mistakes, I made bad choices, and I stepped back. So I accepted failure, and the minute I accepted failure, it was an absolute clear picture. Nobody mattered. If anybody said on a Friday that, Suneil Shetty yaar, uski picture nahi chali, to nahi chali. I had that attitude. I've always had that attitude because I was a sportsman. Like I said, my journey has been sport, martial arts, cricket. That's all I wanted to do. Team sport, learning to lose, learning to win. And that's when I said, I've lost. I stepped back, and there was a new world that was available there. On my high, I behaved, and I continue to behave even when I'm, in the same manner. So there was a little bit of goodwill, respect that I had. So people, like I always say, people love me. I have a lot of love and affection wherever I go, but not necessarily converting into ticket sales. So I understand all that, and that's why I think my transition was smooth, because I'm comfortable in my own skin, and why not? At least I got a shot. I got a shot at being there at that box office, ruling for a few years. How many people get that opportunity?
Wow, that's actually such a beautiful way to look at it. But I think I usually believe that it's easier said than done. But now that you're doing it, I don't think I can say that to you. But I want to understand more of that. Because I think failure isn't something that all of us are able to accept, let alone failure. We're not even able to accept ourselves these days. So what is that one thing that you do differently that's making you capable of coming to terms with failures in a way where you're taking it in stride? And like you said, if you're like, okay, this film didn't work, and like, but as an actor, sometimes that puts timer on your head, right? Because if you give back to back, like whatever flops or whatever, then the press or like the industry talk will be his or her time is over. How did you navigate that while also keeping your mental strength intact? And
I guess family, friends, having a strong family support, a very, very supportive wife, children, parents, siblings, matters a hell of a lot. See, I had no option. If I had to fight back, somebody had to give me a film, because I'd done so badly in that in a year or two that I just couldn't bounce back, because nobody was willing to put that money to make a film for me. So it was best that I accept, take a backseat and look at it differently. I'm back now. I'm doing a lot of work now. Probably in the first few years, this year and probably another year, it would be all about multi-star cast films. But then once you are successful at that box office or the film works, it works for everybody. And then maybe I'll look at it differently again. So I've always stepped back and looked at things. And when you don't have an option, you don't have to give up. And mentally, like I said, I'm extremely strong because of the background that I come from. Once again, martial arts. I reinvented myself when it came to fitness. And said, you know what? Let there be one bit of me that has the X factor, and that was my health. Not necessarily, somebody at 25 can achieve 10 times more, but the age that I'm at, to be able to achieve it, gives me the confidence now to go out there and, show myself off. Because I always believe you are who you are, but your attitude should always depend on who the other person is. I mean, my attitude, I behave the way I see someone behave with me. And that's when things change. So I think when it comes to all that, but fortunately it's been good for me, and it's okay. So it's better to accept failure than to get mentally stressed and be that loser.
I would actually like to talk to you more about that, because I think as much as for me personally, I won't speak for the room, I think when we try to accept failures or we're knocked down by life, right, and we try to get back up, I understand family support, but give me like the breakdown of how do you get out of a rut? How do you get back up? If you're demotivated, you're passionate about something, life's a shitstorm. It's not letting you do what you're passionate about. Life's given you a hard hand. and you just have to make it work. For a person like that, how did they keep that motivation going or discipline going? How did they get out of feeling not good enough? Because I think that's the need of the hour. Everybody everywhere feels like they're not good enough. We self-loathe and self-hate, and we feel like it's so prevalent in my generation at least, and I've spoken to so many people who feel that way. I just want your breakdown of how that could be avoided, I guess, or what your process is like.
I guess for the generation today, offline is as important as online. You know, we live in this virtual world where we believe that likes matter more than actually somebody liking you or telling you something good. I honestly believe that it's far easier to be happy. It's easy for me to be happy with my morning gym, my breakfast, my lunch, maybe dal chawal or what, however simple it may be. But it's very difficult for me to look happy, because then I need those 5 dishes to post. I need the table perfectly set. I don't have the warm food, but that doesn't matter. So to look happy is far more difficult than actually being happy. So I think that's what you need to do. You need, and all through my career, I've never been the same each year, in the sense I would always want to add on to something, add on a certain skill to my being as you progress. And everybody knows that when you're in a particular position, you're at your peak, and there is going to be a downhill or a beautiful exit, whatever it is. So you have to mentally prepare yourself. So, and that's why you've got to be mentally strong. And that's why I say it is working out in the morning, the discipline of life, the consistency of life. This is the only thing that'll see you through. Like I always say, if you're consistent, you'll end up where you want to be. If you're committed, that journey will begin. So you can't take that away. Now, if you're not consistent, you're not committed, you're not disciplined, there's no way you're going to achieve anything. You are failure, and you're looking only at failure. And for us, it's a tough world out there. For us, it's a very tough world. On a Friday, imagine Suneil Shetty with stars in his eyes, his first film comes out, and it's a blockbuster. But the critique at that time, who mattered the most, says he's wooden, he should go back to his Udupi restaurants and sell idli and dosa and collect cash on the counter. That was what was written in that article. Was he analyzing a film? Was he what was he doing? Why he was getting personal at me, believing that idli and that dosa that I sold was not that luxury product that he was looking for, but it was something that was my bread and butter. It was something that gave my dad a position. So I was never embarrassed about that. But I was scared that, what would I do with my career? I believed I'd be the next Mr. Bachchan, because everybody believes he's going to be the next Bachchan. And that's the way the career is going to go. When I sat back, I realized, Christ, you know what? No acting school, no training in the profession that I believe is going to be my career. What do I do? Yes, I have got work. Let me do death-defying stunts so that I get an image for myself. And that's when the action tag came on. The action tag just didn't come on because Suneil Shetty did great action, because he jumped from the 5th floor, took off a bike and rammed into a car and flipped over that car. It was those death-defying stunts that separated me and set me up. Once I set myself up, I continued learning on the job. I continued appreciating every actor who was successful. What was it about Sunny Deol that is exciting? What is it about Chichi, that Govinda that works? Why is Akshay doing and ticking the way he is? Or why is Jackie Dada doing or Sanju doing? That's where you learn, and that process of learning happened there. So I guess I was lucky, I was blessed. There was this X factor. I had the body. Nobody had that kind of a body. But then to last in films, you have to act. And I learned acting along the way. So,
That's how I fought back. And so from what you said, I'm kind of gauging that you were mentally and physically fit at the same time. And I strongly believe that physical health has a huge impact on mental health. And I just want to know not your workout routine, because I don't think any of
No,
us
but
here
you know,
have-
first for every young parent out here, you know, physical health is very, very important. From probably age 1 and age 2. Even if it's about dribbling the ball, you need to know the hand-eye coordination. You know, just simple dribbling or catching is hand-eye coordination. And then sport teaches you to win, teaches you to lose, teaches you, you know, to be mentally very, very strong. And I think that is what growing up is all about. Being out there, facing the real world. You know, and I think that's where my strength comes from. Martial arts, my martial arts background, Sensei Pervez Mystery, you know, making me aware of my strengths and making sure that I don't misuse that strength. The patience, you know, the consistency of training, waking up in the morning, you know, so all the happy hormones out there for me to feel better. So I don't know. I know failure. I've seen failure, but I always say I'm on a high horse. I never look behind. I never did. Never did. I took failure in my stride also. And yes, to this day, I am extremely consistent with what I do. You know, I am disciplined, and discipline for me is freedom, because you pay a price for discipline. You know, and that price could be boring at times, but doing the same thing again and again and again and again, and that's why Virat Kohli, because you do it again and again and again. It's so monotonous that you know, you don't know what you're doing at one time, but then you say, no, I need to do it, and that's the price you pay, and that's freedom for me. I do the things that I love, and the minute I don't do it, I think that's when you talk about, you know, anxiety, depression hitting you, because you overthink. And overthinking, again, is the biggest problem when it comes to the generation today. I mean, overthinking gets you to do a lot. It's like, you know, being on a rocking chair. But you get something to do, but it takes you nowhere. So, little things, consistency of training, work, relationships, offline, you know, staying offline, being with nature, that's what I'm all about.
Oh, so that's like an ideal utopia of like how I'd want my life to look like. But what about those days where you're going strong, you're consistent, you're disciplined, and you just have that one day where you slip up? And
that has to happen. That happens.
What do you tell yourself to get back up?
You talk to people. You need to talk to people. Me and Mana are consistently talking about everything. Athiya, me, Ahan, me, we're consistently talking about failure. I mean, I was very happy that Athiya and Ahan both chose to you know, join the industry. I was never worried about success. The only thing I said was, would you be able to take failure? You know, because that Friday hits and hits really hard. So you need to talk to people. And like I said, you've constantly got to work on yourself. And working on yourself means right from eating right, to sleeping right, to training right. You know, these are the simple things, but I mean, that's been my journey. So I don't know anything else. I don't know anything, you know, else. I'm not, for me, media meant text messaging. Today it's multimedia. It was the pager then. That was the only thing that worked for us. And that's the only language that I know, that I know. And this is the only way I know. That's why I keep telling young parents, put that child in a sport. Let him be out there. Let them learn to win. Let them learn to lose. Let them learn to be a part of a team. Because then you're never alone, no? And it's only when you're alone and lonely is when you overthink.
Yeah, and I think whenever I listen to interviews of people that I've looked up to or idolized, I've always heard this one saying where they always say it's lonely at the top. But compared to what you're saying, it's both of them don't match. Like, so you're saying it doesn't have to be lonely at the top and you can have it all?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't have to. Lonely and at the top is because of the competition, and people are going to talk. And people are going to continue to talk, but that should never matter to us. It should never, never matter to us. And that's why, on your journey up there, the more people you take along, the stronger team that you have, makes a hell of a lot of difference. A hell of a lot of difference. Whichever industry. And if you believe that I've peaked and and if you look at the rest of the journey as failure, that's not the way to look at it. I don't look at it that way. I've seen a good 20, 22 years in the industry. It's over 30 years now. But there's another side of me. Yeah. Now that's come about. I've got that love. It generally, the media forgets. Once you're past your prime, you're done with. But then I evolved, I learned. I got those 4 precious years with my father, who was unwell and bedridden, and I got those 4 years to spend with him, and those 4 years was probably the best years of my life. And probably that's where I got the strength from.
And you also come from a time where a 70-hour work week is the norm, right?
Yeah.
So I guess, like, a better question would be, how did you possibly find time to do it all? Because I think like my mom, the biggest problem my mom has with me is the fact that I don't call her back sometimes, which is very rare, but that I don't call her back or that I don't have time to FaceTime them for like 2 hours a day because none of our conversations get over in 1 hour. How do you balance a 70-hour work week and also have an acting career, also be an entrepreneur, also look like you're 20 years old, like also have a fitness regime? Like, come on, I just want to eat pizza and like cry about my issues. Like, how do you...
We did all that.
Don't take the last part seriously. Like,
we did all that. We had the pizza too and realized that it doesn't work, that body. When they are asking for a body shot, then you say, no, I need 6 months, before I give that body shot. So discipline. And probably...
Sir, how to discipline? Like, how? Like, I just give it to me, I guess. Like, I don't, like, give us, like, what are you saying to yourself? Are you like, Suneil, you're the hottest guy.
Get obsessed with yourself. Get obsessed with that body of yours. Get obsessed with working out. It'll all fall into place. Trust me.
So
that is the discipline that we all need, that we need to wake up in the morning, go to that gym, play that sport, be active, be on the move, and it'll all start falling into place. Because the minute you start working out, you realize, why am I working out if I'm going to be eating junk? Then you stop eating junk, or you control eating junk, and then you see that improvement in your body. So, people keep asking that, why do bodybuilders or people who train always look in the mirror? They need to look into the mirror to make sure that they're achieving the goal that they want to achieve. So start doing that and you'll see the difference. Trust me. The minute it is, oh yeah, get up, when we want to, work when we want to, work from home. For certain people, yes, that works, work from home and everything else. But otherwise, being there, meeting people, learning, interacting, understanding teams, people, mindsets, important.
Do you journal, visualize, manifest any of the new age techniques to achieve what you want, I guess? Law of attraction. Are any of these words something you've heard before or care about?
Anti-aging. That's the only thing I'm trying to manifest.
So I have a PR idea for you.
I'm
You should
trying
start a skincare line. Anyway,
no, seriously. What I'm trying to do is trying to understand through Ayurveda, through natural processes, how can you can't reverse aging, but you can slow down the process of aging.
You're actually telling me anti-aging. Okay, sorry. Yeah,
actually,
I thought you were going to talk about...
No, actually, that's the only thing I'm focused on right now, because that gives me the strength to do everything. And when people come and appreciate you for that, you start focusing on that even more.
Right.
And then everything falls into place when it comes to that.
What do you eat in a day?
My food is breakfast, good breakfast, 3 meals a day, and I quantify my food. I quantify the amount of oil that goes into my food. I balance the carbohydrates, the proteins, the good fats. Sounds very complex, but it's not. If you see what I'm eating, it's according to the activity that I'm involved in the week, during the week. If I have a very heavy week when it comes to action, then I'll up the carbs and the Mangalorean rice a little bit, and cut down the other things. So it's just a balance of diet and food that is available anywhere and everywhere. 28 states, 9 union territories, such beautiful cuisine all over. It's just that I balance the quantity and the quality.
I just remembered how when you were saying I want to balance the carbs, I remember saying that to my mom one time and she said, there's sambar rice, you eat it or you starve. So I just ate sambar rice. Anyway.
I eat my sambar rice every afternoon. Every lunch is all about sambar rice or whatever rice, but rice
like
for sure.
Protein on the side. With protein.
You have to balance your protein. It depends on how. Now you want a good body, you want to look younger, you want a healthy lifestyle, you want to put in that 10, 12, 14 hours of work, you need a clear gut. Everybody believes it's in the mind. I believe it's in the gut. Once your gut is right, everything falls into place. Work falls into place. Work hours fall into place. You're in a better mood. You have a headache. You have acidity. You have acid reflux. Everything then impacts work, which includes sleep hours.
You know, I read this beautiful quote in a book which said, winners and losers have the same goals, but the only difference between winners and losers are that the winners have systems and processes and losers just have goals, right?
Absolutely.
And I think everything you're saying just reaffirmed that statement. It's from this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm as basic as it gets, but everything you're saying just aligns with that, and that's so beautiful. Switching gears a little bit, where do you put your money, sir? Where can I put my money? Where are we investing?
When I was an actor, real estate. I believed in real estate, and because there was not too much to take care of, you invested with the right person, and in land, and it grew. Now startups. I had this opportunity because we do a small show called Horses Stable, and work a lot with Niti Aayog, Atal Incubation Mission, and help us with startups, and we connect them to VCs. And when that is happening, the team briefs me about the kind of startups that there are and founders to watch out for. And so it's easy.
I fully thought you'd say, I just ask them to play act Shark Tank in my house and then I decide where to put money.
Absolutely.
I would fully show up at your house with like a safety pin that's not a safety pin, but could be,
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's how I do it, and a few of them have been successful. I was always someone. Not that many brands came to me, but a lot of startups did come to me, and at times when they ask you, what's the kind of money you take, the first thing I'd say is, are you willing to let go of equity? So I was probably one of the first few actors who played the game of equity and rose with these founders, with these startups. And if you invest right, that's the opportunity today sportsmen and celebrities do have. Because running a business now is impossible, with the kind of work hours, the kind of work that you do, the kind of stress. It's very difficult. It's better to back people. And that world exists today. It never did earlier. Earlier you knew if you I've dabbled in so much and lost so much.
Just because they came and waved at me and I have to wrap this up, I have one more question for you. Have you achieved everything you've ever wanted? Because I feel like when people ask me what your wildest dreams are, I have like a few. But is anything left, sir? Is anything left for you to conquer?
A solo Suneil Shetty film, which is successful. Reasonably successful at the box office. get back to where I started and say, there's success now, bye-bye. And I think now you live your dream through the kids. Yeah, I wanted to play for the country. I probably manifested that son of mine who's playing now, Ahan in the movies. So I'm fine. They're happy. I'm happy. And nobody has box office success for sure.
Sir, I don't know about box office success, that's on you, but if you want a video that'll break the internet, I got you. Having said that, thank you so much. I don't think I'm supposed to do the outro, but I don't know how to end this. You guys have been lovely. That's my set. This is not stand-up. So somebody please interject and take over. Thank you.
Lovely talking to you.
Oh, wait, sorry, before you take over, sir, it's been an honor. See, clearly, I've just foot-in-mouth situations. Thank you. I think I made this whole session more about what I wanted to learn from you. And I just think you're one of the most inspiring people out there. And everything, your journey, your discipline, your motivation, your drive to achieve things. And I get that you're wonderfully beautiful to look at, but just I can tell you're a good human simply because you don't have time to be anything else. And I love that for you, and I love that I had this opportunity to do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.